Нихуя себе. В районе воинской части, ёб твою мать.
A powerful explosion and subsequent fire broke out overnight at military unit 61661 in Slavyansk na Kubani, located in Russia's Krasnodar Krai. The incident occurred amid a wave of coordinated Ukrainian drone strikes targeting critical infrastructure deep inside Russian territory. According to regional reports, the blaze erupted following the impact of drone debris, which triggered alarms across the town in the early morning hours. The military base was one of several strategic sites hit during the operation. Alongside it, Ukrainian drones struck the Afipsky oil refinery, causing a fire at the gas and condensate processing unit, and targeted railway infrastructure in Volgograd Oblast, where fires broke out at both Surovikino and Maxima Gorkogo stations. Eyewitness footage from Slavyansk na Kubani showed large flames and plumes of black smoke rising from the military facility, prompting a rapid response from emergency services. Local authorities later confirmed at least one injury resulting from the incident, with minor structural damage reported in nearby areas. This strike is part of an intensifying Ukrainian campaign to weaken Russian logistics, fuel supplies, and troop movements by attacking targets far from the front lines. The strategy appears aimed at stretching Russian air defenses and sowing disruption across key nodes in the country's military infrastructure. By the morning, the fires had been brought under control, but the symbolic and operational impact of the attack remains significant, highlighting Ukraine's expanding drone reach and the growing vulnerability of rear-echelon Russian assets. A Russian Grad MLRS was destroyed after hitting PTM-2 anti-tank mines that were remotely dropped by Ukrainian FPV drones along its regular route. Ukraine has consistently targeted Russian BM-21 Grad multiple-launch rocket systems as part of a broader effort to degrade Moscow's frontline firepower. These Soviet-era systems, capable of firing dozens of unguided rockets in rapid succession, have been widely used by Russian forces to bombard Ukrainian positions and civilian areas. Recognizing their tactical threat, Ukrainian forces have prioritized the destruction of Grad units using a mix of drone reconnaissance, precision artillery, and FPV drones. A Ukrainian attack drone blew up a concrete bridge in the Belgorod region of Russia, which was actively used by the Russian army for logistics. The combat operation was conducted by soldiers of the 3rd Heavy Mechanized Brigade, known as the Iron Brigade. This is the first such operation for the brigade aimed at destroying such enemy infrastructure using an FPV drone. The bridge has long served as an important link in the transfer of equipment and personnel of the Russian armed forces in the border area. The Russian military, fearing a breakthrough by Ukrainian units, mined the bridge with TM-62 anti-tank mines. The mines were discovered by Ukrainian scouts. The armed forces of Ukraine promptly launched an FPV attack drone with an explosive warhead onto the bridge. The drone actually became a detonator for the mines. As a result of the powerful explosion, the bridge was destroyed. According to OSINT analyst Blinska, the destroyed bridge was located near the village of Novopetrovka in the Belgorod region of the Russian Federation. Thus, Ukrainian forces not only eliminated an important enemy transportation artery, but also inflicted additional losses due to the use of engineered ammunition by the Russians themselves. Recently, operators of the 1st Territorial Defense Brigade also used an FPV drone to blow up a bridge across the Sata River in the Bryansk region. Russian propagandists claim that they gave Ukraine an air truce 3 times. In reality, Russia has failed to comply with and has violated all agreements.
Well, it is impossible to talk to Russia from a position of strength. It is also impossible to ask for any gifts from Russia.
In recent years, they managed to do it.
It worked, but the gifts have ended. Now there are surprises. We have serial production of Oreshnik and finally reached the final SDR-SMD, but we gave them an air truce 3 times. 30 days we hit energy facilities, an Easter truce. And as they say, there was a truce for the 80th anniversary of the Great Victory. All these truces were, including air ones. But what did Ukraine do? It struck us with high-precision American-made weapons and sent us drones. What air truce did Bloomberg find? And what did
There is a high likelihood that the meeting will take place very soon. Trump on a possible meeting with Putin and Zelensky.
President, have Putin and Zelensky agreed to a summit yet? And where and when would that be?
Well, there's a very good prospect that they will. And we haven't determined where, but we had some very good talks with President Putin today. And there's a very good chance that we could be ending the round, ending the end of that road. That road was long and continues to be long, but there's a good chance that there will be a meeting very soon.
The Russian occupation administration in Luhansk launched an online catalog of abducted Ukrainian children. Mykola Kuleba, founder of the Save Ukraine charity organization, said, "Each kid who can be chosen by Russian families has their own photo, faces not blurred, and description. Obedient, calm, communicative, and can be filtered by gender, eye color, and hair color. I've translated them for you in the images. The way they describe our Ukrainian children is no different from a slave catalog. This is real child trafficking in the 21st century, which the world must stop immediately," Kuleba said. Most of the children in this catalog were born before the occupation and had Ukrainian citizenship. Some of their parents were killed by the Russian army, while others simply had Russian documents issued to them in order to legalize their abduction. A senior Trump administration official told Kyiv Post on Thursday that a planned meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin will not move forward unless Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is also at the table. The United States expects that Putin should meet with Zelensky for the meeting in order for a meeting with Trump to occur, the official told Kyiv Post's chief Washington correspondent. However, the official also said that this is a moving picture and that things are yet to be determined. The location for the proposed talks is also undecided. Kyiv Post has also learned from diplomatic sources that U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has delayed his planned upcoming foreign trip to a third nation to be available for potential meetings with Moscow. The update came after the Kremlin welcomed a potential meeting between Trump and Putin, but rejected Zelensky's participation, with Putin saying that certain conditions need to be met without elaboration. The Kremlin said the Trump-Putin meeting could happen as early as next week. Speaking from the Oval Office on Wednesday, Trump said there is a very good prospect for a summit with Putin and Zelensky very soon to end the war in Ukraine. Zelensky said on Thursday that a potential trilateral summit was among the topics discussed with Trump and European leaders following Trump's Russia envoy Steve Witkoff's visit to Russia. Rubio said Wednesday that Moscow had presented a ceasefire proposal to Witkoff, which Trump later discussed with Zelensky and European leaders during a call the same day. Rubio, however, did not disclose Moscow's terms.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.